Hello everybody, welcome to the stream of NPA Week 5. I'm today joined by Duck Pond.
Hello.
One of the commissioners of this NPA season, and today we are here with the Week 5, a week that has been extremely balanced for the results of the teams, and also the top teams have had some balanced results. And talking about top teams, today we're going to take a look at Blizzards against Samurais, the final match, Chengfu against Maluka, that will determine if the week will end up as a draw or as a win for Samurais, since they are at the moment 4-3 for the Samurais. Whilst for the other matches, we had a tie between Symbionts and United. A tie, I think. I don't know. Did Joe play? You know if
No,
Joe...
they get to play. They're playing soon.
So they are currently 4-3 for Detectives.
Yeah, Detectives are up for 3 against Crown.
Yeah. And Cruisers against Monarchs tied, I think, since Missing Noel won against Zelda.
Tie.
Yeah, he won against Zelda. It hasn't been reported, but yeah, we know for a fact that that's how the game went. And yeah, we are currently 3-4 in Stars against Puppies and 4-3 in Samurais against Blizzards. So yeah, it's a pretty close week for every team, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's especially good to see how Samurais and Blizzard are tied, or not yet tied. They're close to being tied. They're really close in score, because they are the top 2 teams. Samurais are undefeated so far, and Blizzard have 3 wins and 1 tie, so they're right behind them. It was a fight at the top of the leaderboard, so it's really good to see how the match is getting close. It's really close until the end. We're coming down to the last match to see if Samurais can keep their win streak, or if they're gonna tie and Blizzard are gonna stay at the same distance.
Yeah, so I would say let's jump already into introducing the 2 players from this match. Chengfu against Maluka. Both are really well known online, especially Chengfu, since Maluka, as you can read, as you can maybe remember, has recently won the first major of the season in San Diego. Then he was known also for getting 2nd place in the Players' Cup 1 and for a recent top 4 in the last NPA season. And Chengfu...
It wasn't only top 4, he also was MVP of the season. I think he went undefeated, 7-0 or something.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay. Yeah, so it's very impressive, more impressive than I thought. And Chengfu, I think Chinese player. I don't know.
Yeah, Chengfu is more known online than for, he hasn't played much in, or at all, in live tournament, especially in our circuit. But he's very well known in this kind of tournament, like draft tournament. And as we can see, he was last year, he was runner-up, he was 2nd with Blizzard. And he's also played a bunch of online tournaments, like with the Victory.February Challenge, where he got 2nd, and also the Jolly Brelum circuit, he played 1 and got 2nd. He's very well known in the online scene, more than in the live scene, but still a really, really good player.
Yeah, and I want to point out that for the 43rd, I have written it badly, but yeah, 43rd Jolly Brelum has been played in 2023, so it's pretty recent as a result. And I think both players they're not both undefeated. I think Chengfu is 3-0 and Maluka is 3-1. But yeah, yes. Today we are going to see some high level matches. Also regarding the current score in this NPA season. And I would say we can jump already into the match, into the team preview. That is going to see some interesting matchup, I would say.
You need to change the graphic.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I think this is the wrong match. You started the other match.
Oh no!
This is
Oh no! Wait. This is no. This is no. This is a spoiler. Don't watch. Close your eyes. Forget what you've just seen.
I mean,
okay, and there is the match.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Chengfu against Meluka.
Okay. So as you can see from our pretty graphic on the bottom, this is a Dondozo mirror. Not something I would have expected from like both seed 1 of their respective teams, but still, it's, you know, we're gonna see how it pans out. So on one side, like on Chengfu's side, we are watching from Chengfu's point of view. So we have the Dondozo Tatsugiri, of course, and then there's a King Gambit, which is also on the other side. Like these 3 are also on the other side, and then Chengfu has Glimora, Great Tusk, Iron Bundle. So definitely a way more like offensive. Meluka also has Glimora, so it's 4 out of 6 common mounts on both sides. We've seen a lot of this idea of Glimora in the front, do damage, set up Toxic Spike, and then let Dondozo in the back sweep. I think we've seen it like Emilio Forbes popularized it back in the first regional of the season.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that was like he was running it and went 10-0 in Swiss, and then it went a bit under the radar, but lately it's coming back up. We're seeing a lot more of it with, you know, send Glimora, damage, Toxic Spikes, and then Dondozo can clean up, hopefully.
Yeah, and we see a Dondozo Droopy form. I don't know if that's the name, actually, I have never seen it. So we can expect maybe Meluka not having Order Up on its Dondozo. And I think Chengfu is running a very similar version to what Neil Patel used to get top 4 in Vancouver this weekend. I think there is only one Mon not in common with his team. So let's see if maybe he talked with Neil or if he came up with many different sets. As we see the leads, Dondozo and Glimora on Meluka's side, and okay, Iron Bundle and Glimora. So both Glimora in the lead, and we know Glimora can counter itself with Mortal Spin that gets rid of the Toxic Spikes.
Yeah, usually, like, I think the idea from Luca point of view might be, hey, I will send it on Dondozo first, so I don't get Toxic Spikes, I don't get poisoned, but the Glimora usually run Mortal Spin as well, so you can poison the Pokemon in front as well. So yeah, we see that this Glimora has Mortal Spin and 3 attacks. It's Assault Vest, so we have to assume it has Mortal Spin. So it's not really working. Like the idea of, hey, I will just send Dondozo in so I don't get poisoned when I switch in, doesn't really work because of Mortal Spin. So Dondozo risks to be poisoned right now.
Yeah, and we see that the Iron Bundle doesn't carry Hydro Pump, and the Glimora on Chengfu's side doesn't run Sludge Bomb. That's pretty singular choice, as we see the Glimora on, I think, Chengfu's side going for the Terra-type Grass, and let's see if I got the player correctly. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
no Terra on Meluka's side, so the Glimora might be dying to an Ice Wind and Earth Power double up onto that slot, as that's the thing we are going to see. The Dondozo avoided the Icy Wind, and that might be useful for Meluka in the next turns, since the Dondozo on Chengfu's side is granted to be at least in tie, or maybe slower in if the case is Meluka having a fast Dondozo.
Yeah, usually, like, you see Dondozo is a slow Pokemon, so the speed drop wouldn't really matter, but maybe with the +1, the +2 which it gets from Tatsugiri's commander, after it's +1, there's a bunch of Pokemon that are not faster than it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it would underspeed the Glimora at +1, while it would outspeed it at +2, so this miss might end up mattering in the long run. Right now, it doesn't really matter much.
Yeah, and we have seen the Dondozo going for Yawn to put that Glimora asleep, but it is threatened by the Anchor right now. Let's see if Chengfu chooses to go for the Anchor, or maybe predicts a switch, going for Freeze Dry in that slot. And I expect the Talonflame setting up a Tailwind here, but we have seen, I think, the Anchor being the move selected by Chengfu, as Talonflame going for Protect. Okay, double Protect in this turn to let the Glimora fall asleep in peace and not having to deal with 2 Pokemon at once. So Meluka here, nice double Protect in my opinion. Glimora falls asleep, Mortal Spin going to hit both Protects. And yeah, right now Chengfu isn't in a good spot in my opinion, but Meluka, nice double Protect.
Yeah, like the Glimmer is asleep, but at the same time you are threatening the both Pokemon with the anchor, because if bundle goes for anchor, both Pokemon will be anchored into protect. So if you're Meluka, you wanna avoid that. Talonflame can click Tailwind or Brave Bird, which with its priority it would go before bundle. But Dondozo is kind of forced to switch out, and probably the only thing it can switch out is Tatsugiri, because ISU. I'm not sure, but there's a chance it's Tatsugiri in the back, so we gotta see if he switches out and takes a freeze dry or whatever happens.
Yeah, so Dondozo switches out actually as you have prevented, and Tatsugiri, yeah, it's not going to take this freeze dry very well, I think, and the Talonflame goes for a Terra type. Since on Chengfu's side we have already seen a Terra type. Talonflame going for the Terra Flying, so okay, offensive Terra type. On that Talonflame we usually see the Ghost type to avoid the extreme speeds and the fake outs, but here the Brave Bird may be boosted by a Life Orb at this point. We can expect a one-hit knockout on that Iron Bundle, but no, 8 HP is the amount of health points that the Delibird from the future is going to hang on with. And he gets the one-hit knockout on the Tatsugiri on the switch-in. So yeah, and Glimora also wastes its first turn of sleep and is now threatening the one-turn wake-up.
Yeah, I feel this is really rough for Meluka. He really wanted to get a knockout onto Bundle, and it was really close. If you get the knockout onto Bundle, then you can, you have Tatsugiri on the field, you can switch Dondozo in and try to play the game. Now, with the Dondozo not having the access to Commander Boost, Tatsugiri being gone, yeah, like the Glimora still fast asleep, but you don't mind it too much. You still have two Pokemon, like you haven't taken any damage on anything outside of the bundle, which is still gonna do a lot of damage with a freeze dry. I think Chengfu is in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, I mean that bundle calc on the Brave Bird was really what helped Chengfu win this game, I think. Since with DKO on Iron Bundle here, you'd have a Tatsugiri on the opposite side, and Dondozo would threaten the switch-in onto the Talonflame slot, but yeah, that's not the case. And Iron Bundle here going for Freeze Dry onto the Dondozo, and followed by a Brave Bird by Talonflame that gets the one-hit knockout, obviously, thanks to the Terra type and thanks to the type effectiveness. Toxic Debris not going to be useful for this match, since Meluka has only 2 Pokemon remaining and cannot switch out, obviously. And the Dondozo here, let's see. Okay, great recoil onto the Talonflame, and yeah, Life Orb I didn't see previously, but yeah, okay, Body Press on the Dondozo, so we can expect maybe an Order Up to boost the Body Press.
At first, when we see the defense boosting Tatsugiri, we would assume, oh hey, it doesn't have Order Up, because usually you don't like the defense boost too much.
Yeah.
But now that we see the Body Press, then yeah, like, it's a set. Order Up, Body Press, Yawn, and then either protect or maybe we saw Protect. We saw Protect, yes. Protect.
Oh yeah.
We saw it. So yeah, those are the 4 moves, and it's a set that I haven't seen much, but Meluka decided to run it, and now this game it didn't really work out, but not because of the set. I think the issue was losing the Glimora on turn 1, and then the bundle not going down to the Brave Bird on turn 2. Yeah, it was turn 2.
See,
those were the big issue. Like, I don't think any Dondozo set would have done anything. Like, the Dondozo for Tatsugiri set didn't really matter, didn't make a difference in this particular game.
We still haven't seen the Order Up on Dondozo on Meluka's side, but yeah, we can assume it's the case.
Yeah.
And yeah, here Dondozo on Chengfu's side coming in with the Tatsugiri and the Commander ability triggering on this side, and Flare Blitz maybe predicting a Terra Steel. But yeah, the Terra has already been used. Maybe he was looking for a burn.
He was definitely going for the burn with the Flare Blitz.
Yeah, so that was the win condition identified by Meluka. Nice play, in my opinion, in this situation where you probably are going to lose if you don't catch that burn. And yeah, substitute for Chengfu's Dondozo, putting himself in a very, very safe position for the endgame.
Yeah, the Brave Bird damage doesn't really matter. The Dondozo is bulky enough where you're not doing much and you're just going down to recoil. So might as well go for Flat Bits. Maybe you get the burn, maybe you don't. Like, if you don't, the game's doomed anyway. If you do, maybe you have a chance. But it's interesting to see how the Body Press did not break the Dondozo substitute. So, again, not in this game in particular, but in the future, it might be relevant.
Yeah, and
how
we see
body press doesn't break this up.
Yeah, definitely, it's a thing that Meluka is going to think about for the next games, and we see the protect from the Dondozo on Chengfu's side here, trying to play it as safe as possible, taking leftovers turn, and we have seen that the Dondozo on Chengfu's side is running body press as well with the attack boost Tatsugiri, since it doesn't run the order up, it's not going to matter. But yeah, interesting that both Dondozos are going to playing body press in this set.
Also, it's really small detail, but Meluka went for the Tatsugiri. Like Meluka targeted the Tatsugiri with Talonflame.
Oh,
you know, we were talking about it earlier. It's the same issue. You don't wanna, like, the damage doesn't really matter. What he wanted to do was, hey, I attack the Tatsugiri, so I don't take. The attack doesn't go through. I don't take life of recall. Maybe I can body press and break the sub, which is what's happening now. And then he has another try. Yeah, okay, he has another try to get the Flare Blitz burn, and once again, maybe come back in the game. I'm not sure how it would, like, how that endgame would play out, but maybe with the burn, Meluka can win it. Actually, yeah, I probably can win the 1v1, but I don't know how what happens once the Tatsugiri gets out.
Yeah,
yes, to click Trachometer.
Tatsugiri usually. Oh, okay, and here the Talonflame goes once again for the Brave Bird on Tatsugiri's slot. I didn't quite get this turn. I would have gone for the Flare Blitz on the Dondozo personally, but yeah, we respect the choice from Meluka, I think. And here he loses the Talonflame. I don't think the Dondozo by himself can win the mirror, considering that there is the Tatsugiri.
Yeah, I mean, even if you get the burn, you manage to, like, whittle down the Dondozo with body press. You're probably gonna trade body press for a while.
Yeah.
Even if you manage to KO the Dondozo, you're probably not at max HP yourself. So what's gonna happen is the Tatsugiri comes out. You have order up and body press, which both do not get the KO on Tatsugiri. So Tatsugiri has like 2 chances of going for Dracometer, or maybe it has Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, more safe.
There's also a chance of, like, I think never mind. Talonflame Terrasalize.
Yeah,
my bad.
And
so
I want to reply to Abe. Yeah, I would have won the game because I would have taken the burn on the first Flare Blitz, and that's a skill issue on Meluka's side, in my opinion.
True. So true.
And we're getting into the team preview for Game 2. Let's see if there are any adjustments by Meluka, since I think there need to be adjustments on the playstyle and the approach to the lead. Maybe that Glimora died way too fast, and you might want to bring maybe another slot, or maybe you want to bring the Glimora, but you don't want it to die on turn 1. What do you think?
Yeah, if your Glimora is if your Meluka and your Glimora is Assault Vest, like, you cannot really build Glimora into Glimora bundle, because what's gonna happen is just Icewinder's power again, and you would have to commit the Terra on turn 1 to get not much in return, because what are you even getting in return? The Glimora doesn't die, because it would, like, Chengfu Glimora doesn't die because it Terras itself.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard to see, like, what do you do? I'm not sure that Glimora in the lead is the play for Meluka, but maybe it is. Maybe he has, like, some other plan that I cannot see right now. So
yeah, there might be maybe a Talonflame in lead to get the speed advantage and not let that Iron Bundle play for the Icewind freely during the game. And we see that Chengfu is going for an adjustment, bringing the King Gambit in the lead instead of the Iron Bundle, with the Dondozo Tatsugiri in the back. So he's going to set up an early game with slower Pokemons and maybe a slower mod. And let's see how he is going to approach the game, if there is going to be a Glimora lead by Meluka.
So, small detail, if Glimora mortal spins into another Glimora, the Toxic Spikes do not stay up. First you do the damage, then Toxic Spikes are set on your side of the field, and then you spin. So from that point of view, you can, in theory, just keep mortal spinning without fearing, oh hey, I'm proccing the T-Spike.
Okay, nice detail. I didn't know this one, but we see the same lead on Meluka's side. he probably had a plan to maybe deal with the Iron Bundle in lead. And here there are both Glimmoras, I think, threatening the kill on the opposing Glimmora.
Actually, I'm not sure, because if they're both Assault Vest, do they even get the kill without the Icy Wind chip?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think maybe they will.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah, okay,
Let's see.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay,
What's interesting is, yeah, sorry, the body press is very threatening for the King Gambit right now.
Yeah, I didn't think about it, honestly. And the King Gambit runs Protect, since the Assault Vest is on the Glimmora in Changfu's team. And I didn't see the item, honestly. Maybe it's Safety Goggles or Black Glasses. I think these are the two main items that get run on the King Gambit if it's not Assault Vest. And we see, I think, both Glimmoras going for a Terra type. Yeah, that's the case. And they are both Terra Grass. I expect the Glimmora on Meluka's side to be Assault Vest itself, since the Ice Wind dealt very little damage in the previous game, and King Gambit going for the Protect, very safe in front of that Body Press and Earth Power. Dondozo protecting as well, maybe afraid of a Mortal Spin. Yeah, that comes out and is going to actually take the poison on the opposing Glimmora. Yeah, no damage since Glimmora has a very low attack stat. But let's see if Glimmora went for the Mortal Spin itself, or if it went for a Sludge Bomb to maybe try and chunk this Glimmora. Yeah, Sludge Bomb, so predicting... Ooh! That's crit. Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's crit, yeah.
Predicting... And the poison, yeah, that was very lucky on Meluka's side, taking the poison on the Sludge Bomb crit. And so he's able to KO the Glimmora on Changfu's side with a one-hit knockout. Yeah, very weird turn, RNG.
I guess that's a way. I guess the way to deal with the opposing Glimmora. You just crit it, like crit poison it.
Yeah, he has to give credit to Meluka going for this bold play, predicting the Terra Grass.
I mean, I assume his plan was to do damage to Glimmora, and then, like, even if you don't kill it, you still do like 50%, and then you have other option, like maybe you switch into Tatsugiri and body press it or something. I'm not sure exactly what was his plan. I don't think he was planning on the crit poison to get the KO on turn 1.
Or maybe
it definitely helped. Or if that was his plan, props to him.
Yeah,
I respect it. If that was his plan, I respect it.
Yeah, let's see who Changfu is going to bring in. Since it's going to be the Tatsugiri, and we have seen that this Tatsugiri is Terra Steel. I think with Carson Comfort's last result, it's going to be the most popular Terra choice on the Tatsugiri. But yeah, let's see what he's going to do in front of an Assault Vest, Glimmora, and a Dondozo.
I think Changfu didn't want to bring in the Dondozo because the Meluka's Glimmora is still relatively healthy, and if you bring in Dondozo, what's gonna happen most likely is you might end up getting poisoned by Mortal Spin unless you commit immediately on the switch out plus substitute. Like you switch into Tatsugiri and substitute. That's your only way of avoiding the poison, and that's like too risky maybe for him. So he wanted to switch, send in Tatsugiri and go for damage. We see.
Yeah, that's the case. We see the Draco Meteor going to deal something like 40-45% to the opposing Dondozo, and Mortal Spin coming out for the Glimmora, trying to maybe catch a Dondozo in switching and trying to poison it. He doesn't want to let that free switch coming out from Changfu's side without the poison. But yeah, Body Press is the choice for Meluka in this turn, going to deal a solid 70%, and the Dondozo and the King Gambit end up having the same amount of health at the end of the turn.
Yeah, but now I think another Dracometer might do the job, because of Unaware, you also ignore the negative stat drops from the Tatsugiri, so Dracometer will probably pick up the KO on Dondozo, I think. So. Like, I'm not sure on the damage roll, but I think it's gonna pick up the KO even with the -2. The issue is the King Gambit doesn't really want to attack the Glimmora, because if you attack Glimmora then your Dondozo gets poisoned, and if you don't, the Glimmora can just keep doing whatever it wants. Like, I think you can legitimately just going for Mortal Spin here if you're Glimmora. Like, if the King Gambit stays in, yeah, okay, whatever. The King Gambit like either gets Toxic Spike on or doesn't do much. If the King Gambit switches out, you get the Toxic Spike.
Yeah, and we see the Dondozo going for Protect, but yeah, Changfu called this one and went for a double up onto Glimora, letting the Glimora set the Toxic Spikes as you were saying, and taking the KO onto King Gambit. So yeah, the Dondozo is coming in this turn and is going to get poisoned, and the Glimora is going down, I think, to the poison damage that was set up by the Mortal Spin on turn 1 by Changfu. Yeah, I think that Meluka is in a dominant position here, since he can bring in his own Tatsugiri, and both Pokemon on Changfu's side are poisoned.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really see a way out for Changfu, or at least not an easy one. Right now, you just have to preserve a bit the Dondozo if you are Meluka. Actually, no, never mind. I was thinking you have to like avoid the Dracometer, but that's not even a big issue because
he can't do.
Yeah, right now Tatsugiri cannot go for Dracometer, so the only threat is what the body press from the Dondozo. We saw already that Meluka's Dondozo doesn't do 25% to Changfu, so I can assume that the damage is probably around the same, also from Changfu to Meluka, which means you're not really scared of the Dondozo doing damage to your Dondozo. You can just stall a bit, like stall some turns with Protect. You get leftovers recovery, they get poison damage, and then eventually, like, the Tatsugiri is gonna die, then Dot's gonna die, and you win the game.
Yeah, and
I assume I assume that's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I want to say that the Talonflame having a Life Orb is is a threat actually to the Dondozo. I think Brave Bird powered up by a Life Orb is going to deal something like maybe 30% to the Dondozo, and with the poison, damage really starts to stack up. And let's see if that's the case for Meluka, or if he's going to go for a double Protect. Yeah, that's a respectable play. You want to stall out these poison turns, and he doesn't even go for Protect on the Dondozo, since he knows that he's going to hang on, and maybe he also wants to bring in his own Tatsugiri and go for an offensive move, maybe like a Dracometeor, as we have seen doing from the Tatsugiri on Changfu's side, and both Dondozos recovering with the leftovers. But yeah, Changfu's poisoning is going to bring in that work that the Glimora set up during the game, and that just comes down to the value that Pokemon can bring to Mirror in Dondozo's matchups.
I mean, we mentioned it in Team Preview how you can just send Glimora in, do damage, get Toxic Spike, get poisons all around, and then like stall with Dondozo, and that's pretty much what's gonna happen in this game. We saw at the very beginning, you know, it did more damage than we assumed it would because of the crit plus poison, but still, like, it was still doing damage, getting Toxic Spike on, and then we see this end game here, which was facilitated by the crit, but probably we might have ended up in a similar situation anyway, even without the crit, with just Dondozo on Meluka's side stalling out Changfu.
Yeah, and I think what we are seeing right now is Changfu maybe playing and hoping for the timer to come down very fast. Maybe he doesn't have some kind of watch or clock, and he hopes he can win by timer, as we have seen him going for the 45-second turns in the last 2 turns, or maybe he's just thinking about how to approach Game 3. And yeah, we are seeing the last turns, and the poison as the previous 4 turns is doing its work, and we are probably going to see a Tatsugiri coming in on the Talonflame's slot right now. Yeah, there's nothing Changfu can do right now, and I wonder if in Game 3 we're going to see the same approach by Changfu, and if and that's not Tatsugiri, that's Fluttermane. Yeah, so Fluttermane is very threatened by the Wave Crash, so that's what Changfu maybe was doing or was hoping, but no, yeah, that's not the case, since the Dondozo on Changfu's side is not faster than the Fluttermane, and Body Press going to close out the game with the poison.
Yeah, so nice adaptation from Meluka's side. I feel like it probably worked out better than, I mean, he technically didn't change his lead, and it ended up working out for him because Cheng Fu maybe overthought it a bit, or I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he decided to bring the King Gambit in the front. And Glimora plus Dondodo does well into Glimora plus King Gambit. So yeah, now, I mean, it worked out for Meluka for sure. Now I'm curious to see how they're both gonna do in game 3.
Yeah, we have seen how Cheng Fu brought the King Gambit instead of the Iron Bundle in game 2, and he got railed also thanks to that crit by that Glimora. And do you think we are going to see an Iron Bundle coming out once again for game 3?
I think the bundle has to come. I mean, it's like one of the different Pokemon that they both like. Cheng Fu has bundle, Meluka doesn't. I think the value it offers with the freeze ray damage onto both Dondozo and Tatsukiri, the Icy Wind to speed control, and the Anchor is just like too much to give up on. I think the bundle can make the difference. I think it's gonna come. I think it's gonna come in game 3.
Okay, and I would ask the chat if they can clip the moment in which Duckman said, "Yeah, I think the bundle has to come." And I just want it as a clip out of context. Yeah, and that would be great.
This is a PG-13 stream.
No,
it's
no.
supposed to be PG-13.
No, where did you read it? I didn't read it anywhere.
I make the rule.
Okay, yeah, Commissioner makes the rules. So, yeah, I still ask the chat if anyone can clip it. And I'm going to be banned by the NPA streams forever. But we see the Glimora being the choice for the lead on Cheng Fu's side. At least that's what he's thinking right now at 50 seconds from the end of the team preview. And we were talking about how Iron Bundle has an extreme value with the Encore and the Icy Wind. The absence of the Hydro Pump is going to matter. Probably not. I think the only slot you want to click Hydro Pump on is the maybe Flutter mains, since on the Glimora, on the Talonflame, and on the King Gambit, you have the offensive option with Glimora and with Dondozo, with the Wave Crash and with the Body Press. You get the super effective damage on all 3 Pokemons that I just mentioned. As we see the King Gambit.
Yeah, the King Gambit's coming, which, let's see what he has in store for us. But as you were mentioning, the absence of Hydro Pump doesn't really hurt. Like, this is probably one of the best matchups for which you don't need Hydro Pump. Yeah, the Talonflame and the Flutter Mane don't really take it well, but at the same time, you're not gonna be hitting them for damage. I mean, I guess the Talonflame you can, but Flutter Mane not really. You don't really want to be in a situation where you have to hit Hydro Pump to get the kill to get the KO onto Flutter Mane. It's just something very weird that's not gonna happen too often.
Yeah, and so we see both players leading with the same Pokemons that they lead with in game 2. So let's see their maybe thinking adjustments and play adjustments in this game.
Yeah, I'm expecting both to like Terrastalize again, both Glimoras. I think it's just like Terra-type, the grass Terra-type is really good right now. Like in this matchup, you don't really wanna get Earth powered by the opposing Glimora. So I'm expecting both to Terrastalize, and I'm also expecting the King Gambit to do something different than we saw in game 2.
Yeah, he went for a Protect, right? In the...
I think he clicked Iron Head into Glimora.
Did he actually? Yeah, he might have. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, we see the Terra Grass on Cheng Fu's side, I think. And we have seen that the King Gambit went for an offensive attack this turn. Not afraid of that Body Press, since he knows and he has seen during the game 2 that it's not enough to KO. Both Glimoras going for the Terra to get rid of the super effective damage. I mean, in game 2 we have seen a Slash Bomb coming out by Meluka for the opposing Glimora's Terra type. And let's see if that's the case for this game as well, as we see the Mortal Spin coming out from Cheng Fu's Glimora, going to poison that opposing Glimora. And as Duckbone pointed out, it's not going to leave the Toxic Spikes on the field, since that effect, the Poison Spikes disappeared. That effect comes out after the Toxic Debris proc. Earth Power, not Slash Bomb this time, but yeah, the special defense drop is going to matter maybe for the next moves.
I feel this is a big turn for Meluka. Sorry, for Chengfu, because Meluka did not get the raid. He went for Earth Power when the Earth Power just did not damage because of the terastallization on Chengfu's side. If he went for the Dodge Bomb with that, like, he would be in a better position because both Glimora would be at around like 30%, which means KO range from almost anything. Depends on like what the move, but KO range of a bunch of things. Instead, he went for the Earth Power, so he basically got nothing out of the turn. Like, he did 20 HP and burned the Protector on those, so now it's vulnerable to a Mortal Spin, and also got a lot of damage on his own Glimora. So I definitely favor Chengfu in this situation.
Yeah, and Dondozo, as you said, had to be afraid of a Mortal Spin and left the field to bring in the Talonflame. Toxic Debris coming out once again. Let's see if Chengfu went for Mortal Spin on the second turn as well to not leave the Toxic Spikes on the field. And yeah, that's what's coming out by the Glimora on Chengfu's side, as the Glimora on Meluka's side just went down to Sucker Punch.
Yeah, good play from Chengfu. He was like, not that he had any other play, like just Sucker Punch because the Glimora is Assault Vest and then you Mortal Spin. If the Glimora stays in, it goes down. If the Glimora switches out, something gets poisoned, and you also get rid of the Toxic Spike which you set up on the previous turn by attacking the Glimora. So it was like really easy of a play, but still it worked out.
Yeah, let's see if maybe this turn...
You also have to change the score with 1-1.
Oh, and that's some technical issues. But yeah, let's see if this turn Meluka decides to bring in his own Tatsugiri that hasn't been brought at all in the previous game. And if that Dondozo carries Substitute as well, we might see a Substitute in this turn that might be important, and most importantly, it will lead to Dondozo versus Dondozo with the Substitute endgame. That's not what you want to see. But the Glimora switches out on Chengfu's side, leaving the field for the Tatsugiri. Okay, in the Beast Bowl.
Meluka doesn't have sub. Meluka doesn't have sub.
Oh yeah, we have seen Yon.
It's Yon.
Yeah, okay. So hard switch on Chengfu's side, bringing in the Dondozo with the Tatsugiri commander ability, proccing as it gets on the field. And let's see what Meluka has done to maybe counter this play. I don't think there are many plays that punished this one on Chengfu's side.
Yon,
okay. It's not many plays, it's one. It's one single play.
Yeah. Okay, but we see the body press. Yeah, Yon would have been like the only thing that would actually like provide value for Meluka. Because now once again you've done no damage, and Talonflame is taking poison damage, whatever. It's eventually going down, probably going down like between like life or recoil, poison damage. It's not gonna survive many turns.
Yeah, it only has moves that bring some kind of recoil. Yeah, Flare Blitz is the one chosen by Meluka for this turn, and no burn unfortunately for him. And yeah, Dondozo just sets up a Substitute, and that's what we have seen in the endgame of game 1, with Dondozo setting the Substitute in front of the Talonflame and the Dondozo, and Meluka's only option here is to try and go for a burn, and that's not what's happening here. And so skill issue by Meluka once again, that has the Talonflame on a timer.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a situation similar to game 1, where Meluka's gonna try to probably like protect the Talonflame and then break the sub and then try to go for burn, maybe, so he can like win with whatever he has in the back, which could be either Flutter Mane or its own Tatsugiri. We have to see like if he gets the burn, because if he doesn't, then I don't think he really has a way out. Like, I think his only way out is the burn right now.
Yeah, and that's okay, similar to game 1, but in a way it's very different, since we have switches for both players right now, and Talonflame actually going for a Break Bird onto the Dondozo and not onto the Tatsugiri this time, to get rid of the Substitute right away and get recoil, the Life Orb damage. It only has the next turn to stay on the field, I think. Wave Crash, yeah, just decides that that's the end for Talonflame in this match. and the Dondozo went for a yawn, probably. And Maluka, yeah, here wanted to break the sub and start setting this control on the field with the sleep. Let's see if Tatsugiri is the last Pokemon on Maluka's side, or if he decided to bring the Flutter Mane as well this game.
I think if it's Tatsugiri, then the match is like gonna be really, really annoying,
yeah,
or boring, rather.
Guys, the LEC is going to be played right now. If you want to open it as second tab, League of Legends is a nice game. We will not blame you, because yeah, here we're going to see probably a long end game. It's probably going to come down to the timer.
Yeah, probably. I don't like, you know what I mean? Not probably. Like, it's for sure going down to timer, because if you protect sub, you do not lose HP because leftovers like heal you over the course of like they heal you enough, technically, so you don't really ever die. Oh, sorry, because the body press does not break the sub. So actually, you protect sub, protect body press, protect sub, protect body press, and like in those 4 turns where you lose a sub but you also restore enough HP with leftovers, so this Dondozo is never actually going down. You can just keep doing that until timer runs out, and Dondozo wins.
I don't think Dondozo loses HP at all. As you said, substitute, protect, body press, protect, substitute. I think this Dondozo is going up in HP every time the time.
Maybe he loses like 1 HP over 4 turns, depending on like how it's the HP number. Yeah, like depending on the HP number, then he might lose like 1 HP over 4 turns. Like it's. Oh wait, actually I forgot about the yawn. Sorry, my bad. Okay, this changes things for a bit. Like the Dondozo has to wake up before doing that. I forgot about the yawn. But yeah, like it's gonna take a bit of damage in the next few turns, and then it's gonna wake up, and then it's gonna go for protect sub.
Yeah, and the only way out for Maluka, I think, is to crit like 4 body press in a row, and I'm not sure if that's enough.
We saw the body press do 40 damage. Like one time I checked the exact number, it did 40 HP, and this Dondozo sub has 63 HP, so a crit on a low roll does not even break the sub.
Okay, so we have to hope for an high roll crit, and we see that Wave Crash actually deals more damage than Body Press, depending on how Maluka's Dondozo is trained, and yeah, that's the case. I think... No, wait. Dondozo... Okay, no, the substitute was already damaged, so yeah. It was going to be taken down for sure in this turn, and that calc actually comes down to how the Dondozo is trained, since if it carries a defense boosting nature, it's going to deal probably more damage with the body press.
Probably, yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, we're gonna see how the Wave Crash is doing. If the Wave Crash is doing more damage, it also depends on the sleep turns right now, because this is 1 sleep turn this turn.
Yeah.
So if the Dondozo wakes up right now, like the game's already just over. Yeah, if the Dondozo doesn't wake up, maybe Maluka had like a few more chances to get a crit, but we also see Chengfu like taking his full time, just to make sure. Okay, yeah, the Dondozo wakes up. I think that's game over.
Yeah, I think we might see a forfeit, as well as Chengfu has 2 Pokemon in the back, and that's what's gonna matter for the timer, as it carries like more Pokemon than the opposing trainer, and that's what matters in the timer endgame, right?
Yeah, the first criteria to see who wins if the battle timer runs out is whoever has more Pokemon alive. So the game does this. We don't have to like do it ourselves. The game does it on its own. And since if Chengfu has 4 Pokemon alive and Maluka has 2, then Chengfu just wins based on that.
Yeah, so we are going to see probably an endgame that is going to be played out by both players. Yeah, Maluka doesn't go for his forfeit. It still believes in the 5 crits in a row, and I still don't think they are enough actually, since Chengfu is going to take 40 seconds for every turn. Okay, eventually is going to run out of time, but yeah, in that case is just going for the fast move. And yeah, he's still going to stall, and we're here playing Uno probably to entertain. But yeah,
Hey,
that's just
we saw
Dendoso
it.
Tatsugiri.
We saw it for like the last 10 minutes of the game, probably in this game. While on stream at, was it San Diego? They had like 15 minutes of like the first match of top 8, game 1, 15 minutes of Dundozo versus Dundozo, both clicking protect sub or something. Not, I don't really remember, but that was like way worse for them. So
Yeah, but
we can go through this, like we can survive this, overcome it.
That's what we Pokemon players call fun. And yeah, we see Yawn coming out from Lucas Dundozo, probably to stall out one of his own PPs.
Yeah, doesn't want to waste PPs.
And I don't think that's gonna matter. Maybe if we had a like 50 minutes timer, it would matter. But I'm not sure in this particular scenario it's going to be effective.
Hey, so what did you do today? What did you do today? Was it fun?
Okay, yeah. So today I woke up at probably 4 p.m. and I read some of your messages. I replied, as you know, probably. And
yeah.
then
you replied to me, so I saw the messages. Yes.
Yeah, you saw them. Okay. Yeah. Then I think I didn't log on Minecraft. No, I didn't play. What the fuck did I do today? Like, okay, I have no idea. I just know that once I woke up, I just had some milk with cereals, and that's cancelled. Let's.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, Melukas realizes like he doesn't have like another way out, so he just forfeits the game, which is fair. Like he tried. I think he did a lot of like those small optimization correct. Like the yawn into the protect, not to solve PPs and other things, but eventually like he didn't really have like he needed way too many crits and he didn't get any. Ooh. So yeah.
Yeah, and good. I'm relieved by this game being over because I was just going to like be not angry at the game, but yeah, angry at the game and at the Dundozo player. I just don't know how you guys can choose to bring a Pokemon like this at a major. So GG to Chengfu, as Blizzards, I think, get the tie. Yeah,
that's the tie.
Yeah, Blizzards get the tie with the Samurais. So what we have right now is that the Samurais get their first not win of the season.
And it's against the second place team. So yeah, it's it's to be expected, not to be expected, but it's not the end of the world for them. It's not like, oh, we tied to a lower place team. No, they tied to the second team. So they're still like looking really good. Even if okay, they didn't win, they still look really good. They're still in first place. They didn't lose, which is also really good for them. Like right now, they're still getting points. They're not like already locked in playoffs, but they're really close. I made like a few simulations to see how many points teams would need, and it's around like depends. It can be from 21 to 25, more or less. So they still have 4 weeks to go, and they are 22. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna get them. Like they're gonna get playoffs. Yeah. I don't see a scenario in which they lose 4 games in a row and then all the other teams like overcome them. So
yeah, and we have seen that this week ended with, I think, at least 2 ties. I'm not sure. I've talked about it earlier in the stream. We had the Symbionts tying, the
Samurais
tying, and Monarchs tying. So there are less points on the board, since a tie gives you 2 points, right? And a win gives you 5. Yeah, so when there is tie, there are going to be less points on the board in general, since there are 4 distributed to the teams, 2 and 2 to the 2 teams that tied. And if you win, you have 5 points that are distributed to only 1 team. But yeah, that's an EV, and that's the point of this whole discussion. I don't know if these, and that's a Yamper, but yeah, I don't know if these ties are going to matter for the minimum amount of points you will need to get to playoffs. What do you think?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. Like tie, like other people tying helps the people that don't tie, the people that win. And this week, like if everybody ties, it doesn't really help anyone. Now we still have like I'm still unsure about 2 matches, so we have 3 ties so far. If most teams tie, then yeah, those who don't, we're gonna get a boost, especially because if you win and everybody else ties, you're getting +3 point on everyone.
Okay.
It's not like only on your direct rivals. You're gonna get +3 on everyone, which is a big. Both if you're in the back to come back and get close to playoff race, both if you're in the middle to get to playoffs, both if you're in the front like Samurais. I mean, Samurais didn't win, but if they had won while everybody else ties, then they just shoot off and nobody can get to them.
Yeah, okay, that's clear, and we can jump maybe to introduce our players for the second and last, sadly, game of this week, and that's Mars against Gahaku. And these 2 teams are currently potentially going for a tie, since it's 4-3 for Puppies, and if Gahaku wins this match, we are going to see the 4th tie of the week, potentially going for the 5th if Joe loses. I'm not sure how that game has to go to get a.
I think Joe has to lose.
Okay, so if Joe loses and Gahaku wins this game, we're going to have a full tied week. Let's see. I'm curious to see if that's going to be the case. But yeah, for these 2 players, I'm going to let you introduce these 2 players.
Okay, so from the Puppies, we have Mars. Mars is a really strong player. He came out. He started to show up online during the COVID era, and now I don't think he played in IRL tours before COVID, so like up until the 2020 season.
Yeah, I think he did.
But then he showed up to like 2 tournaments in Series 1, and he got top 16 at both. They were, as you see on screen, San Diego Regional and Knoxville Regional, both this year. Those were like 2 really hard tournaments, and he did well in both of those. So definitely a really good sign for him to start off like his IRL career. And he also did well at the USPA, another like tournament, online tournament for Americans.
Yeah, Team Illinois, I think that's the pronunciation.
Yeah. And he was the MVP of the tournament. So yeah, that's like really good sign. That shows how good he is also at online tournaments, not only at live tournaments. You want to talk about Gahaku?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Gahaku, 3 times Japan Nationals competitor, and I want to remind you that being a competitor in Japan Nats is a result itself, since you have to qualify for Japan Nats. So yeah, 3 times competitor, then SCL, Suitopolis City League, MVP and winner with Tokyo Thunders, that won finals against I think Haoli Eat. That was my team. I'm quite sure we got in finals, but yeah, I might just I might just be saying fake news. And PGL 3, second place with Kotobuki Kittens. I'm not sure if he was the manager of this team, because I am not informed about PGL. And yeah, maybe you have more information about it.
I don't remember. Like I used to follow it, but I don't remember right now.
And that's how professional we are. But yeah, I just want to point out, as Mars is currently 4-0 in this NPA season, so he has played all the weeks and he has won all of them, while Gahaku has played 2 of the weeks and he is 2-0. So they're both undefeated, and we're going to see the first lose of one of these players. And yeah, we know that Gahaku has built and shared a team with which he has topped the ladder in the previous month, with the Baxcalibur running an Assault Vest and a Terra type ground. So let's see if that's the case of the game he has played during this week, and let's jump into the team preview.
I mean, we had a sneak peek earlier, like I don't know if people noticed, but yeah, that the Gahaku is running.
Let's forget about it. Yeah. Let's forget about it.
that his team, he knows how to play it. I mean, I assume he knows how to play it,
Yes,
and so he decided to just go with comfort, which is like a very fair choice. Yeah. I mean, I think going for comfort is good until you get counter teamed. I don't think there's a counter team on Mars side.
No, because Mars is running the team that Marcus Statter used to win the Bochum Regional Championship a few weeks ago with the Iron Jagelis and the Gothitelle combo that we have seen bringing down Alex Soto in a pretty convincing final for Marcus. And Wolf Gleek used the same team in Knoxville. I think it was the same weekend of Bochum. Same day, yeah, of Bochum, and he got top 8, I think. So we can probably say that this team works.
Yeah, it works. It's in some way definitely works. Like you cannot deny it.
We don't know how, but yeah, it works.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those teams where it's not as straightforward. Like not as set up tailwind to damage, more or less, which is what Gahaku wants to do in most games. It's more complicated, but it still has a setup tailwind to damage mode, as well as a setup trick room to damage mode. So we're gonna see how he decided to go.
Yeah, and Deagle Dango here is going to help in both modes actually, since it has speed in mid-range, and it can be played both in Tailwind and in the Trick Room. Gothitelle being there probably more for control options than speed control options. And we see the leads, the Gothitelle Iron Jagelis, a lead that we have seen often by Marcus and Wolf during the regionals, and the booster energy going to boost speed on the Mars side, and the Iron Jagelis is going to be faster than both of the Pokemon on lead for Gahaku, being the Flutter Mane and the Great Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, you're now you have a lot of options if you're Mars. You can Air Slash the Great Tusk for a lot of damage. You can Snarl to mitigate damage on the Flutter Mane side, and when we got her, you can Trick Room. You can Psychic to finish off the Great Tusk. Actually, I think this Great Tusk was live. No, wait, Mars was live. We don't know about Gahaku. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can go for Psychic for damage or Charm to mitigate damage. You can set up Trick Room for your Pokemon in the back. You have a lot of things you can do, and then we see the Snarl.
Yeah, misses the Great Tusk, and that matters since the Great Tusk is running a Focus Sash, and you probably want to break that Sash other than reducing the special attack on Flutter Mane. So yeah, unfortunate miss for Mars, but Gothitelle here hangs on thanks to the Snarl on the Flutter Mane. Can take both the Dazzling Gleam, that chunks for a lot actually the Iron Jagelis, and he can take the Edelung Rush, going for a Trick Room. Here we are going to see probably a Protect for Gothitelle, I think, or a Charm, but let's see who he set up Trick Room for in the back.
I think Mars is like happy that he missed the Snarl onto Great Tusk more than he would if like he missed it on the Flatterman. You definitely wanted to hit the Flatterman, and then breaking the Great Tusk Sash was also a good thing, but that was like your main focus of the turn. So I think while he did not break the Sash, that's really annoying, but at the same time he got what he wanted, which is lowering the special attack on
the Flutter Mane, yeah.
The Flutter Mane, yeah.
And we have seen that Mars went for a weird choice. That is the Terra type Steel on the Iron Jagelis going to be played out in this turn. And I don't know if I agree with this play, since the Great Tusk is threatening the close combat on that slot, and I don't see why Gahaku would go for a different play. You can go for the close combat on Iron Jagelis in this turn, and a Dazzling Gleam. We assume that Flutter Mane is locked, since the damage was a lot. Gothitelle going for Protect. Okay, and we see why Mars went for this play. He just predicted the Protect coming out for the Great Tusk and the Dazzling Gleam, so he is going to be able to take that Dazzling Gleam pretty well. And okay, no, he didn't predict that Protect. I don't know what he predicted, but yeah, Air Slash going onto the Protect for Great Tusk. So great Protect by Gahaku, stalling out a Trick Room turn.
I think what he just went for was, hey, I don't think you're going for close combat right now onto my Jagelis, when you can just KO it with Dazzling Gleam. So the Great Tusk is probably like in his mind the Great Tusk was gonna target Gothitelle, because something like Headlock Rush plus Dazzling Gleam was gonna pick up a double KO. So what he wanted to try was, hey, let me protect the Goth and do damage onto the Great Tusk. So now on the next turn I can threaten the Great Tusk with Psychic, because at that point it would go down to the combination of Air Slapper Psychic, and it didn't really work out for him. So let's see what he does this turn.
Yeah, and I think the Great Tusk still threatens maybe an Earthquake if he wants to, since the Flowermane could have switched out this turn onto Flying type, being Talonflame, but no, the Headlong Rush is the move being selected by Great Tusk, single target move on Gothitelle, and you probably are going to pick the KO with this Dazzling Gleam being single target on this turn. So yeah, Dazzling Gleam is the choice, since I said earlier it is choice packs and that's enough. I didn't quite get the Trick Room by Mars in this game plan.
I think his plan was like, he hoped to get a pre-switch earlier than he did. Like, he hoped to get something, the Iron Hands or the Great Tusk on the field earlier, but he never had a chance to like safely switch out. We see that like, if the Fluttermane is choice specs, you cannot switch in either of those onto a specs Dazzling Gleam. So maybe he was expecting a Snarl, maybe he was expecting a Moonblast on turn 1, or a Shadow Ball. I'm not sure exactly what he was expecting, but it was not like, you did not expect the Jugglist to stay on the field for so long in Trick Room, and he never had the chance to switch it out. So now he's in a very tricky spot where he has lost 2 Pokemon for not nothing, because like, the Great Tusk is down to its Focus Sash, but it can still switch out and then come back later in outside of Trick Room and click Headlock Rush. Yeah, and a last ditch Headlock Rush or Close Combat.
Yeah, and here I think that Snarl miss mattered if you think about it now, since the Great Tusk here with the Protect is going to be able to stall another Trick Room turn, and Flowermane is going to probably go down to the Headlong Rush selected by the Great Tusk. Yeah, that's the case. Headlong Rush getting the KO clean. Okay, with the Life Orb, probably none of the sets on Flowermane could have survived that, not even if it was bulky. And here
there's one stat that could have lived.
Terraflying.
Yeah, Terraflying.
Terraflying would have survived for sure, but here we see that we are going to approach the last Trick Room turn, I think, if I didn't miscount.
Yeah, this is the last one. Also, I think like maybe even Terra Bug or Grasp was going down to the Life Orb Headlong Rush if it's not too bulky. Like, there's a chance even if you resist it with the Terra,
yeah,
you still get down. So you definitely need the Terra Flying or the Air Balloon.
Yeah, and we're not used to Great Tusk's Life Orb damage. We usually see Focus Sash or Scarf, but if it's Choice Scarf, it's usually paired with Torkoal. So yeah, that's pretty much Life Orb. And Baxcalibur coming out in place of the Flowermane.
So I think this is maybe Adamant as well, the Great Tusk.
It might be. I don't know.
I think in a team where we have Tailwind and Trick Room, you probably want to go Adamant. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that choice makes sense for sure, and I don't think the nature here is going to be useful, since Baxcalibur is going to be slower anyways, and it's probably going to go for the Terra Ground, as we have talked about it earlier.
I mean, this is probably going to be a Terra Ground. You're staring down a 2 fighting type. There's no reason to keep the Ice type and be weak to fighting, just Terra. And then, you can either target the Great Tusk with Ice move or click Earthquake. You have a bunch of options. But as we're seeing, yeah, Terra Ground is like the mandatory first choice.
Yeah, I don't think it has Earthquake. I'm quite sure it has Stomping Tantrum and then three stab moves choice. And we see the Drain Punch going on to the opposing Great Tusk that does not switch out, and Great Tusk here doesn't protect as well. So both Great Tusk being, I would say, vulnerable to the moves of the slower sweepers that get to move first under Trick Room. Trick Room that is now over, and the Iron Bundle here coming out by Gahaku is going to maybe do some speed control or some big damage to the Iron Hands and closing out the game together with the Baxcalibur.
Yeah, even if like you could have protected there if you were Mars, you protect the Great Tusk, but at the same time, what do you even get for it from it? Like you're still going down to the bundle on the next turn, and maybe you have like a way of stalling out, winning the last 1v2, but I'm not even sure.
Yeah, maybe he had to hope for a Brit Bonnet in the back.
We see the Earthquake, so even if you protect, even if you protect,
so
then the bundle switches in. I mean, even Stomping was gonna do it, like didn't really matter. But even if you protect the Great Tusk, bundle switches in, goes for freeze dry, and at that point you have to get a double protect, just to like maybe win the end game. But now that we see the,
that was the only win condition, and here we get a freeze in the end game. But yeah, Earthquake is going to close out the game anyways.
You know what? I think this is good for Mars. Now he can complain about the freeze. Like, I got frozen. Yeah. You know, maybe if I didn't get frozen, I would have won the game.
Okay, so unlucky.
We'll never know.
Unlucky. Yeah. Mars just lost to a freeze, and let's see if he can collect.
It happens. It's like 10%. Eventually, it's like over the course of a bunch of games, it's gonna happen. Sucks that he had to lose the game this way.
Yeah,
but hey, maybe he can bounce back in game 2.
Yeah, he has approached game 2 calm and collected. He has to know that this freeze was the thing that made him lose, and he can win without any luck on Gahaku's side. But yeah, jokes aside, that freeze did not matter, obviously. And let's see if he chooses to go for the Trick Room on game 1. On game 2, sorry.
Fun fact. We saw that he had the rental for Gahaku's team as well. Like right next to the team he was using, he had the rental for Gahaku's team. So I guess he was like not prepared. I mean, he was somewhat prepared. Like he knew what he was gonna face.
Yeah, he knew the spreads.
He knew there was a chance he was gonna face it. So
yeah, if he tested this matchup, I hope at least he doesn't lose 2-0. I hope he can play this out to his best. And yeah, we see here he's going to approach this game with a Tailwind option with the Goldango on lead and the Iron Bundle instead of the Gothitelle and Iron Hands mode that didn't bring him a win in game 1.
Yeah, so if we look at Gahaku's team, there's only one steel resist, and that's the Talonflame, which is not really a steel resist. Like it's
not a steel resist. No, it's not.
It's not gonna take make it rain very well. Like the other thing is the
Assault Vest.
The Assault Vest on Baxcalibur, which combined with the Terastallization means that yeah, you can take a hit and then retaliate back with the Earthquake, which probably I'm not sure. Does it KO?
I think it does. I don't know how bulky this Goldango is.
I'm not sure it KOs actually. I think it lives.
But yeah, that's
game. Your best option. Yeah, maybe we see it. But it's your best option to like take a Make It Rain.
Yeah, I think he can take, like the Baxcalibur can take 2 Make It Rain, since the first one is going to drop the special attack on Goldango's side. But yeah, you're going to play 2 versus 2, so Goldango has a mate, and you're probably not going to want to take those Make It Rain. But yeah, Brit Bonnet in the lead, predicting probably a Trick Room approach once again from Mars. But yeah, that's not the case, and Iron Jaggle is with the speed advantage right now. It's going to be able to set up a Tailwind.
Okay, so we see that he's thinking about going for Terrasteel Make It Rain, which makes sense. You're doing a lot of damage on everything, and you're also not taking too much damage. Like the Goldango doesn't take too much from the Flatter Main, unless maybe it goes down to Sucker Punch plus Shadow Ball.
Yeah, but I think that the Flatterman is Terrasteel. Okay. I'm not sure about this one. Probably we might see a Terra Fairy, but yeah, if it's not Terrasteel or anything that resists Make It Rain, we are going to see a Tailwind and Terra Make It Rain this turn, and the Flatterman is not going to be able to attack. But yeah, I think this Terra type is on Gahaku's side. Yeah, Flatterman going for the Terra type Steel. Yeah, that's the case, and Make It Rain is going to deal, I think, a little more than 50% of damage.
It depends on how they're trained, but let's see. Oh, this is the Terrasteel we were seeing earlier.
Yeah, so we're seeing 2 different versions of the Terra. same type, but in one case, Goldango is going to Terra for the extra damage, and the Flare main is going to Terra to take that Make Rain better. And here we see the Sucker Punch, as you predicted in the turn preview, and Make Rain is probably going to pick the KO onto the Brute Bonnet. That is...
Is it?
Okay,
okay,
I'm going to shut the fuck up, because that's way less than I expected.
It's not even close.
Yeah, and this Dazzling Gleam actually does not KO Iron Jugulis, but yeah, okay, that's a critical hit on Goldango. It was way too much damage. And Goldango is forced to switch out, I think, if it doesn't want to face a Sucker Punch.
I think it might lead the Sucker Punch, I'm not sure, I didn't really take a close look at the damage. But even if it does, it's like you're not threatening any damage onto the Flutter main, right now you're -1. And yeah, okay, you can Snarl it, but Dazzling Gleam is still gonna pick up 2 KOs after the Sucker Punch. Dazzling Gleam still picks up 2 KO. And so I think Gahaku is in a really good spot right now. He did not take much damage on turn 1, and he did more than he took. So, okay. We see how the Jugulis protects to, stay on the field another turn, and to bait the Sucker Punch. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and that's a good protect, since the Sucker Punch went on the Iron Jugulis this turn, and Make Rain is going to pick up the KO this time onto the Brute Bonnet, and leaves the Flutter main to just below half HP. I think that's 35-40%. And Flutter main going for Dazzling Gleam, that if it doesn't crit, I think we're not going to see a KO. Yeah, there is some bit of lag, and that's the KO actually. So yeah, I'm just missing every calc in this one game, and yeah, let's see who the two players are going to bring in on this turn, since the Tailwind has 2 more turns to be played at its best for Mars.
Yeah, so the crit on Goldango definitely helped, because without it, probably it would have survived. But at the same time, Gahaku had the option to Sucker Punch it. Like, even if you don't think that the Dazzling Gleam is gonna pick up the KO, you still have the option to Sucker Punch plus Dazzling Gleam both on the Goldango, which still grants you the KO even without the crit. So definitely helped, but it wouldn't have mattered too much. Like, it would have been only slightly worse for Gahaku the situation right now.
Yeah, and both Iron Bundles coming on field. I think the Iron Bundle on Mars' side is carrying a Focus Sash, while the Iron Bundle on Gahaku's side just activated a Booster Energy. And Iron Bundle doesn't have Hydro Pump in Mars' team, and the Snarl misses once again onto the Flutter main this time, and I think this is going to be way worse than the miss in game 1. We see an Ice Wind follow-up, and I'm not sure if... I don't think so, actually. I don't think that Snarl would have dealt that kind of damage to Flutter main. But yeah, it still does not bring down the damage.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Flutter main actually... Sorry, the Snarl actually picking up the KO on Flutter main. I'm not really, really good on Iron Jugulis calcs.
No, me neither.
It might have been enough, actually.
Yeah, but here the main thing is that it doesn't nerf that Dazzling Gleam, and it picks up the KO. And yeah, that just seals the game, I think, since the Great Tusk is going to be slower than the opposing Iron Bundle, and you can just switch out Flutter main to stall the last Trick Room turn. But if the Iron Bundle carries Freeze Dry or Hydro Pump, I think it can just go for the KO.
Yeah, it might not KO depending on just how offensive it is. Yeah. Also because it's a -1 because of Snarl. Snarl did hit bundle, that's the Freeze Dry is probably not gonna pick up the KO, but the Flutter main should be faster side of Tailwind, so yeah, this is probably what's gonna happen. Switch out Flutter main, freeze out the Tusk, and then Tailwind runs out, and then you switch back in the Flutter main to just click. Oh yeah, he's protecting. I mean, it makes sense, it doesn't really change much. Now Tailwind is over, and you have 2 turns to... you have 2 turns to attack the Great Tusk, and you're faster, so you will pick up the KO and win the game, most likely. Unless something crazy happens that I cannot think of.
No, we have talked about Great Tusk is probably adamant in Mars' team, so Gahaku probably doesn't need to go for Ice Wind. Yeah, that's the choice, because it's safer, obviously. And here Icewind dealing a lot of damage, single target, super effective, and Great Tusk not having the best of the special defenses. And High Spinner here closing out the game 2-0 for Gahaku. So pretty convincing performance in my opinion. That was just one-sided, and we have more plushes. I have no idea what Duckplant is doing during the games. It's just not watching them. And he was preparing this Glaceon on an Nihiligo's head, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's a whole Nihiligo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
it's gonna fall. If I bring it more on the back,
and it fell. Okay, so RIP. And yeah, we have seen a pretty one-sided game, I think. And Gahaku, I think, brought the situation to 4 ties right now. I'm just going to double check.
4 out of 5.
Yeah. Okay, so Papis just lost Mars match. So yeah, 4-4 between Papis and Stars. 4-4 between Symbionts and United. 4-4 between Sunrays and Blizzards. And 4-4 between Cruisers and Monarchs. Yeah, we had to see how Detectives and Crown end up being as a match, since Joe and Sapphire still have to play. Let's see. I'm just going to cheer for Sapphire for the 5 ties week.
That would be funny. Like, yeah, that would be funny for all of them.
Yeah, and with this match, I think we are going to say goodbye for now, as we are going to stream the week 6 that is going to be in Series 3 or in Series 2?
Nope. First of all, it's Regulation C.
It's Series 3. I'm going to like ban you from this channel.
Okay, now we already talked with the player should know. I mean, if their manager read what we wrote in the manager's channel, what's gonna happen is the week 6 is gonna be still Series 2 or Regulation B. Call it how you want, but starting from this week, the player will have the option to gentleman agreement to play in Series 3 or Regulation C. Mm-hmm. So they can already start playing in the next format if they want, but the default is still this format.
Yeah.
And
so,
then week 7 will maybe be, we're polling the managers right now. Week 7 may be already Regulation C or week 3 default, with the option to gentleman's agreement to Regulation B.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be reverse gentleman agreement for the week 7. Okay, and in week 6, I think we're going to probably see all the regional involved players going to play in Series 2, since there is going to be Utrecht special events. That, a little spoiler, I'm going to cast Utrecht special event in Italian here on this channel, and I'm going to post a tweet about it. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter. You should find it below the stream. And yeah, I want to say thanks to WJ Bax for the raid. Unfortunately, we are going to shut down the stream right now, since we have already looked at the 2 matches that were planned for today.
He just started the stream with 0 viewers just to raid you.
No, they were 8. Okay,
they were 8? Oh, I'm surprised.
Okay, no, I'm not going to raid anyone, Will, in the NPA streams, unfortunately. That's professional. Professional streaming here, and I didn't do any mistakes in this stream, so I opened up the right match with the right names, and I got all the calcs right.
Yeah, you didn't forget to change the score.
I didn't forget anything. That was perfect. Perfect execution. So yeah, bye everybody. Thank you for following this stream, and next Monday, same time, we're going to broadcast, I hope, 3 matches. I hope they're going to be 3 matches. But yeah, thank you for following everybody, and thank you, Duckpon, for coming here.
What a pleasure.
Bello.